Hello, this is the cybersecurity news of the week 9 of the year 2023. So, if you're already a member of our channel, you would know that we try to cover cybersecurity news on a weekly basis. So, the topics that are covered, including the cybersecurity news about data breaches, data leaks, and any cybercrime that we could find in clear websites and news resources. So the first piece of news comes from zdnet.com. Based on that, Australia retailers' customer data compromised in third-party data breach. It has been published on 23rd of February 2023. The next piece of news comes from bankinfosecurity.com. For those of you who have followed our videos, you would probably know that this bankinfosecurity is one of the resources that more or less we will cover on a weekly basis, at least one or two pieces of news from it. So, based on this piece of news, Asia Pacific faced the highest share of cyber attacks in 2022. It has been published on 24th of 2023. The next piece of news comes from hackread.com, which is one of the resources that we more or less cover on a weekly basis. So based on that, hackers deface Russian websites on Ukraine invasion anniversary. This piece of news has been published, as you can see here, on 25th of February 2023. The next piece of news comes from darknetlive.com. This site also is one of our resources covering the cybersecurity news. So based on the German man purchased counterfeit euros on the dark web, it has been published on 26th of February 2023. The next piece of news comes from securityweek.com. So based on that, 11 countries take part in military cyber warfare exercise. So it has been published on 24th of February 2023. From Dark Owl, there's this piece of news on 24th of February 2023 that 1 year later, a look back at the Ukraine conflict and its impact on the global criminal digital ecosystem. I personally always go through the news from this darkowl.com, and to be honest, the reports from this site are quite nice and interesting. It covers like various aspects of the news and always prepares nice screenshots to complement the news. So I would highly recommend to check this site darkowl.com from time to time. The next piece of news comes from the record.media. So based on the Danish hospitals hit by cyber attack from Anonymous Sudan. So Anonymous Sudan is a hacking group and activists that they have a Telegram channel at least. And from time to time in their Telegram channel, especially recently, they took part in the campaign of Sweden and of Denmark to deface the DOS attack and, if possible, leak and breach the data from the entities of Sweden and Denmark mainly. The next piece of news comes from gbhackers.com. So based on that has been published on 27th of February. There is this Stanford University data breach, PhD admission data leaked. From bleepingcomputer.com, there's this piece of news on 25th of February that Dish Network goes offline after likely cyber attack. Employees cut off. From infosecuritymagazine.com, there's this piece of news that has been published on 27th of February 2023 that governments targeted by Discord-based Internet campaign. There is this next piece of news from gbhackers.com again, that based on that, hacker claim telecom provider data, including source code, employee data stolen. It has been published on 27th of February 2023. Then comes the next piece of news from foxnews.com. So it has been published on 28th of February 2023, based on the U.S. Marshal Service attacked by ransomware targeting sensitive law enforcement information. The next piece of news comes from itnews.com.au. So it has been published on 28th of February 2023. Based on that, Australian organizations lodged 497 data breach notices in back half of 2022. Alvaria Incorporation announces data breach following high ransomware attack. So this piece of news has been published on 27th of February 2023 in jdsupra.com. Another piece of news from darknetlive.com. So based on that, drug dealer had plastic surgery to avoid arrest. It has been published on 28th of February 2023. From safetydetectives.com, there's this piece of news that has been published the same day, 28th of February 2023, that Australia sets up new cybersecurity agency. Again, from darknetlive.com, there is this piece of news that DDoS are behind recent market downtime and Tor reaches out to market admins. It has been published on 28th of February 2023. There's this piece of news from Hackread.com that video marketing software Animaker leaking trove of user data. It has been published on 1st of March 2023. From portswigger.net, for those of you that probably don't know this, Portswigger is having a very famous tool, Burp Suite, that mainly used for web application pen testing, like manipulating and modifying the parameters and values and sending the requests and looking for the responses, whether the site is vulnerable or not. So there is the one section in this site, this portswigger.net, that publishes cybersecurity news. So based on this piece of news that we have found, on 28th of February 2023, the Indian Transport Ministry flaws potentially allowed creation of counterfeit driving licenses. From the cyberwire.com, there's this piece of news that Peruvian Peruvian tax data exposed on web forum, update on the Rackspace ransomware attack. This post has been created on 20th of February 2023. The next piece of news comes from cybernews.com. So it has been published on 1st of March 2023, and based on the attackers published Beeline's Jira database exposing customers. From ule.fi, that is the Finnish news agency, there is this piece of news has been published that Aleksanteri, if I pronounce the name correctly, Kivimäki are remanded into custody over vast demo hack. This piece of news has been published on 28th of February 2023. Again from Darknet Live, till now there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and another one, 5 piece of news from this single resource, Darknet Live. Well, based on the piece of news that has been posted in darknetlive.com, this dark web drugs vendor YVS indicated. It has been published on 1st of March 2023. From securityaffairs.com, there's this piece of news that satellite TV giant Dish admitted that the recent outage was caused by a ransomware attack. It has been published on 1st of March 2023. From securityweek.com, there's this piece of news that has been published on 1st of March 2023. So there is this, sorry, several law firms targeted in malware attacks. The next piece of news comes again from securityweek.com. So based on that, South American cyber spies impersonate Colombian government in recent campaign. It has been published on March 1st, 2023. From brnewswire.com, there is this piece of news on 1st of March 2023 that the Group 1001 insurance units resume full operations after ransomware attack. There's this piece of news from dailyecho.co.uk that has been published on 1st of March 2023 that Nourisher staff unhappy over pension contributions data breach. There is a piece of news from the jdsupra.com on 1st of March 2023, and based on that, Crystal Bay Casino notifies 86,291 individuals of recent data breach. Again, another piece of news from the same resource, jdsupra.com, and based on that, Hatch Bank announces third-party data breach at cybersecurity firm Fortra. It has been published on 1st of March 2023. The next piece of news that has been published on March 1st, 2023 from myinjuryattorney.com, data breach at Evergreen Treatment Services leaks current and former patients' information. From darknetlive.com, there's this piece of news that has been published on 2nd of March 2023 that Kerberos Market linked to notorious Fisher Cat Darknet 1. Again, from securityaffairs.com, there is this piece of news that gun auction site was hacked and data of 565,000 accounts were exposed. This piece of news has been posted on 2nd of March 2023. From hackread.com, there is this piece of news that retail giant WH Smith cyber attack employee data stolen. It has been published on 2nd of March 2023. There is this piece of news from the record.media that Canadian book giant says employee data was stolen during ransomware attack. It has been published on 1st of March 2023. From Blipping Computer, which again one of the resources that more or less we have a piece or pieces of news from this site. There is this piece of news for this week that Hatch Bank discloses data breach after Go Anywhere MFT hack. It has been published on 2nd of March 2023. Last but not the least, from tsq.com, there's this piece of news that has been published on 2nd of March 2023 that College of the Desert data breach possibly compromised 800 people. Thanks for paying attention. This was the cybersecurity news about data leak, data breaches, and cyber crimes that we have covered for week 9 of the year 2023. Bye bye.